Whether you're a small business starting out or a corporation, one of the biggest things that your business needs to pay attention to is going to be how to manage your financial records. In this video, I'm going to go over the various platforms and processes to keep track of how your business is performing, the costs associated with the platforms, and at the end of the video, I'll give you the one I use personally to keep track of my trucking company. When you want to get a loan, bring on a partner or an investor, they will ask you for your profit and loss statement and possibly a balance sheet. The profit and loss sheet, or P&L, is the basic statement of the financial health of the business. The balance sheet is a point in time and looks at all of your business assets such as cash, equipment, and inventory, and balances against who you owe. These could include loans payable such as people you bought things from or credit cards. When you subtract what you owe, liabilities, from what you own, assets, that gives the business a net worth, or the value of the business. For small businesses, this is less important than your P&L. Because if you do not have enough assets such as equipment, there's minimal need to keep a balance sheet. The only reason you would have to keep a balance sheet, or at least keep a number associated with your assets and liabilities, is for tax purposes. I want to focus more on the small businesses, side hustle, gig workers when it comes to accounting for your cash flow. There's two ways that you can keep track of finances. One is going to be to hire a bookkeeper or an accountant, which can be costly and time consuming. And the second will be to do it yourself using a spreadsheet or some sort of financial software. There are several tools out there that range in price from free all the way to expensive. All of this is in order to make sure you have your information correctly represented. For this video, I'm going to cover three types. The first would be an old-fashioned spreadsheet. If you use Google Sheets, which is essentially free, for Excel, it would be the cost of the program. If you have some basic knowledge of spreadsheets, or you can purchase a template from a site like Etsy. I'll link a basic one in the description below that I built. A step up from that would be an accounting software. I will cover two of them in this video, but there are several others out there, and there are even some out there that are specific to industries such as trucking. The first one is NetSuite. This is by Oracle. Unfortunately, I don't have the specific pricing of this product, as you have to submit a form in order to receive a quote. Frankly, I have way too much email already to be added to another list. I'll put it out there. You can check out the website and inquire on your own. The second is Quickbooks. This is, in my opinion, the most transparent when it comes to pricing. For as little as $7.50 a month for a freelancer, you can have a professional system that keeps track of all of your income and expenses. This will allow you to know how your business is doing at any given minute. I personally use QuickBooks Online, which is a subscription-based service, and I pay roughly $25 a month. I also utilize the payroll features of QuickBooks, and that's for my 4 employees. 3 drivers that are paid weekly, and myself, which is paid monthly. I'm not sponsored by QuickBooks, but if you use my referral code to check it out, I will link the description in the box below. I will receive some sort of credit. When we started our trucking company, I thought about using just a simple spreadsheet. I've made up these for several other businesses or just playing around with Google Sheets because I'm a nerd like that. But quickly realized that if you're going to get any kind of loan or borrow money of any kind, you're going to need to have financials that are laid out well. Simply dropping a notebook full of numbers on spreadsheets on a lender's desk is probably not going to do you much to get your loan you want. Bookkeeping software is kind of like insurance. You can spend as little or as much as you need, but there is a basic minimum that you need to have to get by. Again, you can use the simple profit and loss statement and balance sheet that I linked below and modify it how you want. The complexity of software you're going to need is going to be based on your type of business. It's going to include what types of income you have and what expenses you pay, and how closely you need to monitor those. Let's take an example of an Uber driver. For that business, you would receive income, which you would account for as either a delivery charge or tips, I guess, or one or the other, or both in your category. There wouldn't be a whole lot of other income categories that you would need to account for. And if I'm missing something and you're an Uber driver, let me know in the comments below. Now, as far as the expenses for the business, if your sole income source is that Uber business, and you utilize your car for that business only, other than your occasional personal travel, you would be able to write off those expenses. Things such as fuel, maintenance, tires, upkeep, insurance, those types of things would be an expense for your business. If this is a side hustle and you do this maybe on the weekends or part-time, then you're going to have to check with your accountant how much of those are really an expense that you can write off. But if you just have a simple line item such as those income levels and a few expenses, that your basic financial statements could be something as simple as a spreadsheet like I posted below. When you get into more complex businesses, such as take my trucking business for instance, we have payroll, fuel, tolls, insurance, and so on. Lots of expenses. I also like to keep track of how much each one of my employees is bringing into the business and how much we are spending on that employee to make sure we're making money on each employee. This is also a type of business that's going to have a hard time getting any kind of financing unless you have a platform such as QuickBooks. I have seen owner-operators and small trucking companies that account for most of their bookkeeping on spreadsheets, or even a general ledger, but over time they can get very convoluted and you can lose information very easily. Worst case, you're ever audited, trying to remember back 7 years, which is the length of time you can be audited, would be a heck of a task. On the other side, I have seen small businesses that have paid thousands of dollars for accounting software or accountant services to take care of books when in reality it could have done with a simple spreadsheet. Like anything, at the end of the day, this is your business. An audit from the IRS or an audit from the state all falls on you to provide the information. Spending a few dollars per month may be worth it in the end. Whether you're starting out in a new venture or you've been in business for several years, take a time and look back at your bookkeeping and make sure everything is correct and accurate. It's your best chance going forward and avoiding any kind of issues in the future. I wish you the best in your business, and if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Until next time, have a great day.